The sleek obsidian halls of Nexus headquarters pulsed with an otherworldly energy as Alex strode through the crowd of galactic elites. His crisp uniform, adorned with the organization's emblem, marked him as one of their most formidable operatives. Yet even as he nodded curtly to his peers, a restlessness stirred within him. The annual Nexus Gala was in full swing, a dazzling display of power meant to showcase the organization's dominion over the cosmos. Beings from 1,000 worlds mingled, their inner energies carefully honed and cultivated. Alex could sense the raw potential crackling in the air. "Quite the turnout this year," drawled a familiar voice. Commander Vex materialized at Alex's side, his reptilian features arranged in a smirk. "Though I'd expect nothing less for the hero of the Orion campaign." Alex's jaw tightened. The mission was a team effort. Of course, of course." Vex's forked tongue flicked out in amusement. "Still, your power levels were unprecedented. The Council has taken notice." Before Alex could respond, a hush fell over the crowd. He turned, following the collective gaze to the grand entrance. His breath caught in his throat. She glided into the room, her lilac skin luminescent under the starlight filtering through the domed ceiling. Gossamer robes flowed around her lithe form as she moved with impossible grace. But it was her eyes that transfixed Alex, depthless pools of violet that seemed to pierce right through him. "Ah," Vex said, his voice laden with satisfaction. "Our guest of honor has arrived." Alex tore his gaze away. "Who is she?" "Mia, last of the Etherii. We've been tracking her for months." Vex's eyes glittered with naked ambition. "Can you feel it? The raw power emanating from her? With her abilities harnessed, Nexus would be unstoppable." A chill ran down Alex's spine. He knew all too well the methods Nexus employed to harness such gifts. "She came here willingly?" Vex's laugh was cold. "Let's just say she was persuaded to accept our invitation. Now, if you'll excuse me." As the commander slithered away, Alex found himself drawn inexorably toward the mysterious alien. Their eyes met across the crowded room, and for a moment, the rest of the world fell away. "You seem different from the others," Mia said as he approached, her melodic voice tinged with wariness. Alex inclined his head. "I could say the same about you. I'm Alex. I know who you are." A small smile played at her lips. "Your reputation precedes you, Nexus's rising star." He winced slightly. "Don't believe everything you hear. I prefer to form my own judgments." Her gaze swept the opulent surroundings. "This organization of yours, they fancy themselves masters of cosmic energy. Yet I sense a fundamental misunderstanding of true power." Alex's eyes widened. He glanced around, grateful for the din of conversation masking their words. "Be careful. Such talk could be considered seditious." Mia's laugh was like wind chimes in a summer breeze. "And here, I thought you might be different." She turned as if to leave. "Wait." Alex surprised himself with the urgency in his voice. "You're right, about all of it. Nexus, the misuse of power. I've seen things that—" He broke off, acutely aware of the dangers of speaking openly. Mia studied him intently. "Perhaps we should continue this conversation somewhere more private." Alex nodded, leading her to a secluded balcony overlooking the shimmering cityscape. As soon as they were alone, Mia's demeanor changed. The coy smile vanished, replaced by steely determination. "I'll be direct," she said. "I need your help. Nexus lured me here under false pretenses. They mean to drain my life force, to add my people's gifts to their arsenal." Alex's fists clenched. I suspected as much. But why tell me? Because you're their best operative, and yet your aura is different, conflicted. Her eyes bored into his. Am I wrong to think you might have doubts about Nexus and its methods? He exhaled slowly. No, you're not wrong. Then help me escape, please. For the first time, vulnerability cracked through her composed exterior. I cannot allow my people's legacy to become a weapon for tyrants. Alex's mind raced. Everything he'd worked for, his entire life within Nexus, he'd be throwing it all away. And yet, the wrongness that had gnawed at him for years crystallized into certainty. Okay, he said, I'll help you, but we'll need a diversion. As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the complex. Red emergency lights bathed the balcony in an eerie glow. What's happening? Mia asked, tensing. Alex's combat instincts kicked in. I'm not sure, but it's our chance. Follow me. They raced through panicked crowds, Alex using his authority to bypass security checkpoints. He led Mia to a restricted hangar housing Nexus's most advanced prototypes. We'll take the Star Dancer, he said, gesturing to a sleek vessel. Experimental warp drive. If we can break atmosphere, we might have a chance. As they sprinted toward the ship, a frigid voice cut through the chaos. I'm disappointed, Alex, though not entirely surprised. They turned to see Commander Vex flanked by a squad of elite guards, energy weapons primed. Stand down, Vex snarled. Hand over the Aetherius, and perhaps the Council will show mercy. Alex stepped protectively in front of Mia. You know I can't do that. Then you've sealed your fate. Vex raised his hand to give the attack order. In that instant, Alex reached deep within himself, tapping into the well of power he'd spent a lifetime honing. A shockwave of pure force exploded outward, sending Vex and his men flying. Go! Alex shouted to Mia. Get the ship started! As she raced up the boarding ramp, Alex engaged the remaining guards. His mastery of cosmic energy made him a whirlwind of destructive power, but he knew he couldn't hold them off indefinitely. Just as his strength began to flag, the Star Dancer's engines roared to life. Alex made a desperate leap, Mia's outstretched hand pulling him to safety as the ship rocketed skyward. Alarms blared as Nexus defenses targeted them. The ship shuddered under heavy fire. We'll never clear the planetary shields, Alex growled, strapping into the co-pilot's seat. Mia's hands flew over the controls with surprising familiarity. Watch me. The Star Dancer corkscrewed through a hail of energy blasts. At the last possible second, Mia activated the experimental warp drive. Reality itself seemed to bend around them as they punched through the shields and into open space. For several tense moments they held their breath, waiting for pursuit. When none came, they finally allowed themselves to exhale. That was... Alex shook his head in disbelief. How did you know how to fly this thing? Mia gave a tired smile. My people were master shipwrights once. The designs may have changed, but the principles remained the same. As the adrenaline faded, the magnitude of what they'd done sank in. We can never go back, Alex said quietly. Nexus will hunt us to the edges of the galaxy. Mia reached out, her cool hand covering his. Then we'll go beyond the edges, together. Alex met her gaze, seeing not just beauty, but a strength that matched his own. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of real hope. Where to? He asked. Mia's eyes glimmered with starlight. Somewhere they'll never find us. I know a place. As the Star Dancer streaked into the unknown, neither Alex nor Mia could have imagined the journey that lay ahead. One that would test the limits of their power, their love, and their very humanity. The following months passed in a blur of narrow escapes and stolen moments of peace. They hopscotched across the outer rim, always one step ahead of Nexus pursuit. Along the way, their bond deepened, forged in the crucible of shared danger and growing trust. On a garden world in the Andromeda Galaxy, as they lay beneath alien constellations, Mia took Alex's hand and placed it gently on her abdomen. His eyes widened in understanding. "Are you sure?" he whispered. Mia nodded, a mix of joy and fear in her eyes. "Our child will be hunted from birth, but they will also be hope incarnate, a bridge between our peoples." Alex pulled her close, his voice fierce with determination. "Then we'll make a stand. Find a place to raise our child in safety, no matter the cost." They eventually found refuge on a remote asteroid in an uncharted system. Using their combined powers, they hollowed out a habitable cavern shielded from sensors. It was there, months later, that Mia went into labor. Alex paced anxiously as Mia's cries echoed through their makeshift home. He'd faced down entire armies without flinching, but the prospect of fatherhood terrified him in ways he couldn't articulate. Finally, a new sound filled the air, the lusty wail of a newborn. Alex rushed to Mia's side, his breath catching at the sight of their daughter. Wisps of lavender hair crowned her tiny head, and when she opened her eyes, they shone with an inner light. "Leah," Mia breathed. "Her name is Leah." As Alex cradled his daughter, a sense of profound peace washed over him. For a moment, the specter of Nexus faded, and he allowed himself to believe in the possibility of a future untainted by fear. That peace was shattered mere weeks later. The proximity alarms blared, jolting them from sleep. Alex's blood ran cold as he saw the readout, a Nexus strike team, mere minutes from breaching their sanctuary. "How?" he growled, already moving to activate their defenses. Mia clutched Leah to her chest, her face a mask of determination. "It doesn't matter. We knew this day might come. We fight." What followed was a battle that would be whispered of in awed tones throughout the galaxy for generations to come. Alex and Mia, new parents driven by desperate love, unleashed the full measure of their powers. The asteroid's surface erupted with cosmic fire as Alex hurled chunks of space rock at the incoming ships. Mia wove shields of pure energy, deflecting barrages that would have atomized entire cities. But the Nexus forces were relentless, and with each wave, the defenders weakened. A lucky shot breached their inner sanctum, and elite commandos poured in. In the chaos of close-quarters combat, Alex lost sight of Mia and Leah. He fought like a man possessed, his mastery of cosmic forces leaving a trail of broken bodies in his wake. Yet for every foe he felled, two more took their place. A scream of pure anguish cut through the din. Alex turned to see Mia, surrounded by a phalanx of Nexus troops. Leah wailed in her arms. Their eyes met across the battlefield, and in that moment, a lifetime of unspoken words passed between them. Mia's face set with grim resolve. "Forgive me," she whispered. Before Alex could reach her, Mia began to glow with an otherworldly light. The air crackled with power as she initiated a process no human had ever witnessed, the total transference of an Aetherius's life force. "No!" Alex roared, but it was too late. A blinding flash seared the cavern. When Alex's vision cleared, Mia lay motionless on the ground. Leah, miraculously unharmed, whimpered softly beside her. Grief and rage exploded within Alex, mingling with the raw cosmic energy Mia had sacrificed herself to bestow upon him. The resulting maelstrom of power was unlike anything the universe had ever seen. Reality itself seemed to warp around him as Alex unleashed his newfound might. Nexus troops disintegrated on the molecular level. Their ships crumpled like tinfoil, crushed by the sheer gravitational force he now commanded. In a matter of minutes, it was over. Alex stood alone amidst the devastation, cradling his daughter as the dust settled around Mia's still form. As Leah's cries echoed through the ruined asteroid, Alex made a solemn vow. He would protect their daughter at all costs, honoring Mia's sacrifice. And one day, when Leah was ready, he would help her understand the incredible legacy she carried within her very cells. But for now, there was only grief and the long road of exile that stretched before them. The acrid smell of motor oil permeated the air as Alex hunched over the rusted engine of an ancient pickup truck. Sweat beaded on his brow, not from exertion, but from the oppressive heat of the Texas summer. He could have fixed the vehicle with a mere thought, channeling the cosmic energy that still thrummed beneath his skin. Instead, he reached for a wrench, grimacing as it slipped in his calloused hand. "Hey, Al, you planning on finishing that heap today, or what?" Alex straightened, masking his irritation with a practiced smile. "Just about done, Mr. Guthrie. She'll be purring like a kitten in no time." As the garage owner ambled away, Alex let out a weary sigh. 15 years of hiding, of suppressing his true nature, weighed on him like a neutron star. But the alternative, drawing the attention of Nexus, was unthinkable. His comm unit buzzed, displaying a message from Leah's school. Alex's stomach clenched. Not again. The principal's office was stiflingly warm, made worse by the palpable tension. Leah sat hunched in a chair, her lilac-tinged skin standing out starkly against the drab surroundings. At 15, she was caught in that awkward stage between child and woman, made more difficult by her alien heritage. "Mr. Ryder," the principal, a severe woman named Miss Hardwick, began. "I'm afraid we've had another incident." Alex leaned forward, his voice carefully controlled. "What happened this time?" Miss Hardwick's lips thinned. During PE, Leah was observed manipulating a basketball in ways that defy the laws of physics. When confronted, she became agitated, causing all the equipment in the gym to levitate. Leah's head snapped up, eyes flashing. "I didn't mean to. It just happened." "Regardless of intent," Miss Hardwick continued, "this behavior cannot continue. We've been patient, Mr. Ryder, but for the safety of our students and staff, I'm afraid we'll have to ask Leah to leave the school." Alex's jaw clenched. He wanted to argue, to explain that Leah was special, gifted beyond their comprehension. Instead, he nodded stiffly. "I understand. We'll make other arrangements." The drive home was silent, the air heavy with unspoken words. As they pulled into the driveway of their modest house, Leah finally spoke. "I'm sorry, Dad. I really am trying to control it." Alex's heart ached at the pain in her voice. He turned to face his daughter, seeing so much of Mia in her features. "I know you are, sweetheart. It's not your fault." Leah's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Then whose fault is it? Why am I like this? Why won't you ever tell me about Mom or where we really came from?" Alex flinched. He'd known this day would come, but he'd hoped for more time. "Leah, A sharp knock on the car window cut him off. Both of them tensed, years of ingrained caution kicking in. But the face peering in at them was hauntingly familiar. "Hello, Alex," said Raina, her voice muffled through the glass. "We need to talk." Inside the house, Alex paced like a caged animal while Raina perched on the edge of the sofa. Leah had been sent to her room, though Alex could sense her eavesdropping, her nascent powers allowing her to listen in despite the distance. How did you find us? Alex demanded. Reina's cybernetic eye whirred as it focused on him. Please, you might be off the grid, but you're not invisible, especially not with the energy spikes coming from this area lately. She glanced meaningfully toward Leah's room. Alex's fists clenched. If you're here, then Nexus isn't far behind, Reina finished. You've done an admirable job staying hidden, Alex, but time's up. They know about Leah. A cold dread settled in Alex's stomach. What do they want with her? Reina's organic eye softened with something like pity. What do you think? She's the key, Alex. The perfect fusion of human and ethereous DNA. Nexus believes she could be the conduit to unlimited cosmic power. Over my dead body, Alex growled. That's the idea. Reina stood, her cybernetic components humming softly. Look, I'm not here on their behalf. I owe you, Alex, for what happened on Centauri Prime. I'm here to warn you and to offer help if you want it. Alex studied his former comrade, weighing years of shared history against the possibility of betrayal. Why should I trust you? Reina's smile was razor sharp. Because right now, I'm the only friend you've got. A muffled gasp from upstairs broke the tension. Leah appeared at the top of the stairs, her eyes wide with shock and dawning understanding. Dad? Her voice trembled. What's going on? Who is she? What did she mean about my DNA? Alex closed his eyes, feeling the weight of 12 years of secrets pressing down on him. When he opened them again, he saw not just his daughter, but the legacy of a lost people, Mia's people, staring back at him. Leah, he said softly, it's time I told you the truth about your mother. The next hour was a whirlwind of revelations. Alex laid bare their cosmic origins, the power that flowed through Leah's veins, and the ever-present threat of Nexus. Reina filled in gaps, providing intel on the organization's current activities and their obsession with harnessing ethereous energy. Leah sat in stunned silence, her world upended. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely a whisper. So, I'm not human? You're so much more than that, Alex said, reaching for her hand. Leah jerked away, her eyes flashing with hurt and betrayal. You lied to me. My whole life, everything I thought I knew. She stood abruptly. I need some air. Before Alex could stop her, Leah bolted out the front door and into the gathering dusk. He moved to follow, but Reina's hand on his arm held him back. Let her process, she advised. We have bigger problems. Nexus will be here within hours. Alex's mind raced. We need to leave. Now. Reina nodded. I have a ship hidden nearby. We can be off-world before they... A piercing scream shattered the night, followed by a pulse of energy that made the house shudder. Alex's blood ran cold. Leah! He burst out the door, Reina close behind. The scene that greeted them was chaos incarnate. Leah stood in the center of the street, surrounded by a maelstrom of swirling energy. Nearby cars levitated, their metal frames groaning under invisible pressure. And advancing through it all was a figure Alex had hoped never to see again. Commander Vex. My. Vex's sibilant voice carried over the howling wind. She is magnificent, isn't she? The perfect weapon, just waiting to be molded. Get away from her! Alex roared. He reached deep within himself, tapping into the wellspring of power he'd suppressed for so long. It rushed through him like a tidal wave, threatening to overwhelm his senses. Vex's reptilian features twisted into a cruel smile. Ah, Alex, still playing the protector, I see. But you're outmatched, old friend. The girl comes with us. Like hell she does, Reina snarled, her cybernetic arm transforming into a wicked-looking energy cannon. The street erupted into battle. Alex hurled bolts of pure cosmic force, warping reality around Vex and his Nexus agents. Reyna's weaponry carved swaths of destruction through their ranks. But for every enemy they felled, two more seemed to take their place. And at the center of it all was Leah, her power spiraling out of control. The very fabric of space-time rippled around her, creating localized singularities that threatened to tear the neighborhood apart. "Leah!" Alex called out, desperation edging his voice. "You have to control it. Focus on my voice." But Leah was beyond hearing, lost in the maelstrom of her own awakening abilities. Tears streamed down her face as she levitated off the ground, raw energy coursing through her body. Vex laughed, a sound like grinding glass. "You see? She's too powerful for you to handle, Alex. Only Nexus can give her the guidance she needs." "You mean enslave her?" Alex spat. He redoubled his efforts, drawing on reserves of power he didn't know he possessed. The air crackled with ozone as cosmic forces clashed. Reyna fought her way to Alex's side, her organic eye wild with adrenaline. "We can't keep this up much longer. We need to get Leah out of here." Alex nodded grimly. "Cover me." He sprinted toward his daughter, dodging energy blasts and warped pockets of gravity. As he neared Leah, he felt the full force of her power buffeting against him. It was like trying to walk into the heart of a supernova. "Leah!" he called out. "Listen to me. I know you're scared, but you have to trust me. Remember what your mother sacrificed for us. Remember who you are." For a moment, nothing changed. Then, slowly, Leah's eyes focused on Alex. Recognition flickered across her face, followed by fear and shame. "Dad?" she whimpered. I can't control it." "Yes, you can," Alex insisted. He reached out, ignoring the searing pain as Leah's energy field lashed against his skin. "You're stronger than this. You're my daughter and you're Mia's daughter. You can do anything." With a Herculean effort, Alex pushed through the barrier of energy. He wrapped his arms around Leah, enveloping her in a cocoon of his own power. Gradually, the chaos around them began to subside. "No!" Vex howled. "Seize them!" But it was too late. As Nexus forces closed in, Alex tapped into the full measure of his abilities. With Leah held tightly against him, he launched them both skyward, becoming a streak of light that vanished into the night. Reyna watched them go, a mixture of awe and resignation on her face. She turned to Vex, her weapon trained on his serpentine form. "Looks like your prize just slipped away." Vex's eyes narrowed. "This isn't over. Nexus will hunt them to the ends of the universe if we have to." Reyna's smile was cold. "I'm counting on it." With that, she activated a device on her wrist. In a flash of light, she too disappeared, leaving Vex and his battered forces to contemplate their failure. High above the Earth's atmosphere, Alex and Leah floated in a bubble of protective energy. Leah clung to her father, her body shaking with sobs. "I'm sorry," she choked out. "I'm so sorry." Alex held her close, his heart breaking for the innocent she'd lost. "You have nothing to be sorry for. But, Leah, we can't go back. Not now." Leah pulled back slightly, meeting her father's gaze. In that moment, Alex saw not just his little girl, but a glimpse of the powerful being she was becoming. "Where will we go?" she asked, her voice steadying. Alex looked out at the star-studded expanse before them. Somewhere out there were answers, allies, and perhaps a way to finally bring down Nexus. "Wherever we have to," he said. "We'll find a way to master your abilities, to understand where we came from. And then we fight back," Leah finished, a steely determination entering her voice. Alex nodded, feeling a surge of pride mixed with trepidation. The road ahead would be fraught with danger, but for the first time in years, he felt a spark of hope. Together, he said. As Earth dwindled behind them, father and daughter set course for the unknown, ready to face whatever the vast cosmos might throw their way. The Star Dancer's engines hummed softly as it drifted through the starlit void of the Andromeda Galaxy. On the bridge, Alex stood before a holographic star map, his brow furrowed in concentration. Countless worlds scrolled past, each a potential clue to the mystery of Mia's people. "Any luck?" Raina's voice broke the silence as she entered, her cybernetic eye whirring as it adjusted to the dim light. Alex shook his head. "Nothing concrete. It's like chasing ghosts." "Maybe that's exactly what we're doing," Raina mused. "The Etherii were masters of energy manipulation. Who's to say they didn't find a way to hide their entire civilization?" Before Alex could respond, a flurry of movement caught his eye. Leah burst onto the bridge, her lilac hair wildly disheveled and her eyes wide with excitement. "Dad! Raina! I think I found something." Alex turned, hope flaring in his chest. "What is it, sweetheart?" Leah's hands danced over the ship's controls, pulling up a series of complex energy readings. "I was meditating like you taught me, trying to sense the cosmic energy flows, and I felt an echo, like a whisper from across the universe." Raina leaned in, her organic eye narrowing. "These readings, they're unlike anything I've ever seen." Alex studied the data, his heart racing. "It's Ethereum energy, pure and undiluted. Leah, can you pinpoint the source?" His daughter nodded, a look of fierce concentration on her face. As she manipulated the star map, a single point of light began to pulse. "There," she whispered. "That's where the call is coming from." Alex zoomed in on the coordinates. A small, unremarkable planet orbiting a dying star materialized before them. "Zephyria," Raina breathed. "It's supposed to be uninhabited, a dead world." "Looks like someone wanted it to stay that way," Alex said grimly. "Plot a course. It's time we got some answers." The surface of Zephyria was a wasteland of wind-swept rock and swirling dust storms. As Alex, Leah, and Raina made their way across the barren landscape, the howling wind threatened to knock them off their feet. "Are you sure this is the right place?" Raina shouted over the gale, her mechanical arm raised to shield her face. Leah nodded, her eyes glowing with an inner light. "The energy. It's all around us. Can't you feel it?" Alex could. The very air hummed with potential, making his skin tingle. It reminded him of Mia, of the raw power that had coursed through her veins. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble. Cracks appeared in the rocky surface, spreading outward like a spiderweb. Before they could react, the earth gave way entirely. They plummeted into darkness, tumbling through a maze of underground tunnels. Alex reached out with his powers, creating a cushion of energy to break their fall. They landed hard, but unharmed, in a vast underground cavern. As they got to their feet, lights flickered to life around them. The cavern walls were adorned with intricate glyphs and swirling patterns that pulsed with a soft blue glow. At the center of the chamber stood a lone figure, tall and willowy, with skin the color of twilight. "Welcome, children of the stars," the being said, its voice resonating with otherworldly harmonics. "I am Zoran, last of the Etherii. I have been waiting for you." The next hours were a whirlwind of revelations. Zoran, ancient beyond measure, shared the tragic history of the Etherii. They had been a race of cosmic shepherds, maintaining the delicate balance of energy throughout the universe, but their power had made them a target. "Nexus came like a plague," Zoran intoned, his luminous eyes filled with ancient sorrow. They sought to harness our abilities, to bend the very fabric of reality to their will. We fought, but they were relentless. In the end, we were forced to scatter, to hide our knowledge and our very essence across the cosmos. Alex listened intently, his mind racing. But Mia, she found a way to pass her powers on to me, and to our daughter. Zoran nodded, turning his gaze to Leah. Yes, Mia was one of our brightest, most innovative minds. She discovered a way to merge Etheri essence with compatible species. You, young one, are the culmination of that work, a bridge between worlds. Leah's eyes widened. Is that why I can do the things I can do? Why it's so hard to control? Your power is raw, untempered, Zoran explained. But with proper guidance, you could become something truly extraordinary. Both of you could. Alex felt a surge of hope, tinged with trepidation. Can you teach us? Help us master these abilities? Zoran's expression grew grave. I can show you the path, but time is not on our side. Nexus draws ever closer, their hunger for power insatiable. If they were to acquire the knowledge hidden here, then we'll stop them, Reyna interjected, her cybernetic components humming with determination. Whatever it takes. Zoran studied them each in turn, as if weighing the fate of the universe. Finally, he nodded. Very well. Let us begin. The training was grueling, pushing Alex and Leah to the very limits of their endurance. Zoran taught them to tap into the fundamental energies of the cosmos, to bend light and gravity to their will. Reyna, though lacking in cosmic powers, honed her tactical skills and upgraded her cybernetic systems with Etheri tech. As the days turned to weeks, Alex watched his daughter blossom. Leah's control grew by leaps and bounds, her confidence soaring. In quiet moments between training sessions, he shared stories of Mia, her brilliant mind, her fierce determination, and the depth of their love. She would be so proud of you, Alex said softly one evening as they sat beneath a holographic projection of alien constellations. Leah leaned against him, a small smile playing at her lips. Do you think she knew what I would become? Alex wrapped an arm around her shoulders. I think she hoped. Mia always saw the potential for greatness in others, especially in you. Their moment of peace was shattered by a piercing alarm. Reyna's voice crackled over the comm system. We've got incoming! Nexus fleet just dropped out of hyperspace. Alex and Leah exchanged a determined look. The time for preparation was over. The final battle had begun. The skies above Zephyria erupted into chaos as Nexus warships descended through the atmosphere. Energy beams lanced downward, carving molten furrows across the planet's surface. Within the underground sanctuary, Alex, Leah, Reyna, and Zoran stood ready. The ancient Aetherius raised his arms and the cavern walls shimmered, revealing a massive array of crystalline structures. The heart of Zephyria, Zoran intoned, the concentrated essence of our people's knowledge and power. We must protect it at all costs. Alex nodded grimly. Reyna, can you coordinate our defenses? The cyborg warrior grinned, her mechanical eye gleaming. Already on it. I've got a few surprises rigged up for our uninvited guests. As if on cue, the ground shook with the impact of Nexus drop pods. The sounds of battle echoed through the tunnels as Reyna's traps engaged the first wave of invaders. Leah, Alex said, turning to his daughter, are you ready for this? Leah's eyes glowed with inner fire, her lilac hair floating on unseen currents of energy. I was born ready, Dad. Together, father and daughter strode out to meet the enemy, cosmic power crackling at their fingertips. The battle that followed would be spoken of in hushed whispers across the galaxy for generations to come. Alex and Leah moved as one, their powers intertwining in ways that defied comprehension. They warped gravity, creating localized singularities that swallowed entire squads of Nexus troops. Beams of pure energy lanced from their hands, cutting through battle mechs like paper. Reyna was a whirlwind of destruction, her Etheri enhanced cybernetics allowing her to predict and counter enemy movements with uncanny precision. And through it all, Zoran stood at the heart of the sanctuary, channeling the power of his people to maintain their defenses. But Nexus was relentless. Wave after wave of troops poured in, led by the serpentine form of Commander Vex. The reptilian warrior's eyes gleamed with malevolent glee as he caught sight of Alex and Leah. "At last," he hissed, "the power of the Etheri will be ours." Alex felt a surge of rage at the sight of his old enemy. "You'll never touch my daughter, Vex. This ends now." The two clashed in a battle that shook the very foundations of the planet. Vex, empowered by Nexus technology, matched Alex blow for blow. Energy crackled between them, reality itself buckling under the strain of their conflict. Leah fought her way to her father's side, her face set with determination. "Together, Dad, like we practiced." Alex nodded, reaching out to clasp his daughter's hand. In that moment, their powers synchronized perfectly. A wave of pure cosmic force exploded outward, sending Vex flying backward. The Nexus commander struggled to his feet, his scales smoking. "You think this changes anything? Nexus is eternal. We will hound you across the universe if we must." "No," came a resonant voice. Zoran stepped forward, his ancient eyes blazing with power. "You will trouble the cosmos no more." With a gesture, the Etherius activated the heart of Zephyria. The crystalline structures pulsed with blinding light, and a wave of energy swept through the chamber. Alex felt it wash over him, not harming but cleansing, purifying. Vex and his Nexus forces screamed as the energy engulfed them. When the light faded, they were gone, not destroyed but transformed. Where once stood soldiers and war machines, there were now seedlings and harmless creatures. What did you do?" Leah asked, awe in her voice. Zoran smiled gently. "I reminded them of what they once were, before ambition and greed twisted them. They have been given a second chance as all life deserves." Alex looked out at the transformed battlefield, feeling a profound sense of peace settle over him. "It's over," he breathed. "We won." In the days that followed, news of Nexus's defeat spread across the galaxy. Oppressed worlds rejoiced as the tyrannical organization crumbled. Alex, Leah, and Reyna found themselves hailed as heroes, symbols of hope for a brighter future. As they stood on the bridge of the Star Dancer, preparing to depart Zephyria, Alex felt a familiar presence. He turned to see a shimmering apparition of Mia, her smile as radiant as he remembered. "You did it, my love," she whispered. "You protected our daughter and saved the universe." Alex reached out, his hand passing through the ghostly image. "We did it together, all of us." Mia's form began to fade, but her voice lingered. "The road ahead is long, but you won't walk it alone. I'll always be with you in here." She gestured to his heart. As the apparition disappeared, Alex felt Leah's hand slip into his. "Was that?" He nodded, blinking back tears. "Your mother, watching over us, like always." Leah squeezed his hand. "Where do we go now?" Alex looked out at the star-filled expanse before them, feeling a sense of limitless possibility. "Wherever we're needed," There's a whole universe out there waiting to be explored, wrongs to be righted. And a legacy to uphold, Leah added, her eyes shining with determination. Alex smiled, feeling a surge of pride for the remarkable young woman his daughter had become. Together? Leah nodded, a grin spreading across her face. Always. As the Star Dancer's engines hummed to life, father and daughter stood side by side, ready to face whatever adventures the cosmos might hold. The spirit of Mia and the wisdom of the Etherii would guide them on their journey to bring balance and hope to a galaxy reborn. Dear listeners, thank you for joining us on this cosmic journey through love, loss, and redemption. Alex and Leah's story reminds us that even in the vastness of the universe, the bonds of family and the power of hope can overcome the greatest of challenges. Your support and attention have given life to these characters and their struggles. We hope this tale has sparked your imagination and left you looking at the night sky with a sense of wonder. Until our next adventure among the stars, may your own story be filled with courage, love, and the endless possibility of the unknown.